Hey everyone, and today I'm going to be talking about the best week of my life. I mean, it's not like it's a particularly special event. Well, it was, but like, we didn't really do anything amazing, like go to Disneyland, fly to another country, or I don't know. It was just a good wholesome week with my favorite people. Here are my friends that are featured in this story time. Pick your fighter. They're all pretty snazzy, but these two at the end are from America. And I got a message from them one day saying, hey, we're going on a school trip to England, London, and we want to see you and hang out and have a good time. So I was like, hell yeah, and we had a really fun week. So let's start with day one. Tori and Tempo arrived in the UK and at their hotel room at about 3 o'clock, and I rolled up at about 4. Was really nervous. Bearing in mind I've known these friends since I was about 15 years old. I'm now 23. So I was a little bit nervous meeting these long-term friends. So I walked into their hotel lobby and they were playing Blackpink music from the TV in the reception. Is K-pop mainstream now? Is everything normified? Is it okay to leave the house now? Then I took the elevator up to their room, then I was greeted by Tori, then Tempo, and it was a little reunion. I was so nervous and a little bit awkward, so I'm sorry. And then I went undercover in their American tour group and saw the sights of Leicester Square and Piccadilly. There's some lions and fountains and it's pretty cool. So we went through Chinatown, Soup Boy came along, and then we all got Japanese food and it was a good time. After eating it was dark, so we went across to South Bank area where it was really pretty at night, and we also got to see Big Ben in all of his scaffolding glory at the moment. But then it got to about 12 at night and we were like, we should probably head home. So we did. Day 2. Tori and Tempo did their school things and then we met up in the evening once again. We had already eaten dinner at that point, so we decided to take them to the best Wetherspoons in the UK. If you don't know what Spoons is, it's basically like fast food for alcohol. And Wilbur knew where the best one was, so we went there. It was pretty fancy. They had their first ever cocktail. We had our Wetherspoons fun and then we headed home because it was about 11 o'clock at night and we didn't want to miss the last train. Day 3! I decided to go along with their tour group again today and they happened to go to exactly the same place we went to last night. There's this building called the Walkie Talkie and it used to melt cars. Because it has a weird shape on the top, it did like a magnifying glass effect and melted things. But they fixed it now. But you would have thought if you're gonna design a big building that you think about that kind of stuff. The tourist group went to the top for the Sky Gardens exhibit thing, but I didn't have a ticket for that because you have to book them in advance, so I sat outside and defeated the Pokemon Go gym of the Walkie Talkie, but I did catch a Mesprit, so that was my achievement of the day. After that adventure, we met up with Big Reno at Primark. You're probably thinking, why do you want to take them to Primark? Primark is like hell. Primark is hell, but only when it's busy. Tori really liked Harry Potter, and the first place that came to mind for cheap Harry Potter merch was Primark. She bought lots of cute things, and we were both kind of disappointed by the lack of Hufflepuff merch. Us Hufflepuffs, we need our yellow. After Primark, we decided to go to Forbidden Planet, which is an anime shop. They bought some classic anime merchandise. Then we headed to Coco Curry House, which is like a Japanese style curry house, but it's in London. It's one of my favorites. I'd really recommend it. But I couldn't remember where Coco Curry House was, but I knew it was in walking distance. So I looked it up on my Google Maps on my phone and we started walking there. And we must have done a loop because when I was looking on my phone, I was like, hey, we're almost there. And I'm pretty blind, like I need glasses. I can see things up close, but anything far away from me is a big blur. So I turned to Big Reno and I go, is this Forbidden Planet? So I must have spanned the Google Maps around on my phone and started heading to the starting point rather than the destination. So we go in a big circle again and end up at the curry house. We have a really good curry and that was a good meal. It was the first time I've ever finished a Coco curry, so I was really proud of myself. Thank you so much, guys. And to wrap up the day in true Harry Potter style, we went to platform 9 3/4 at King's Cross. And we all just had a really good time. We were in the queue to get our picture taken with the trolley in the wall. And we were just talking to each other like, yeah, we can take these pictures on our phones. It's gonna be great. We're not gonna fall for the tourist traps of getting our professionally printed photos from the photographer over there. But when we were doing them on our phones, they came out so blurry and terrible. I had stitches from laughing at how awful these photos were. I mean... So we ended up buying our professionally done photos. So now I have this picture of me pushing a trolley, and I don't really need it. I don't really want it, but I have it. And after that we had a group hug and we headed our separate ways. Day 4. Tori and Tempo were busy most of the time doing their school sightseeing things. So I just headed over in the evening and we sat in the hotel room, recharged our legs because we have been doing so much walking these past few days. We just sat down in bed and we played some card games and it was a really good time. Moving on to day 5, which was their completely free day where they didn't have to do any school stuff. So we banded together and decided to go to Brighton. Yes, Brighton, land of the seagulls. So me, Wilbur, Tori and Tempo headed down to Brighton, where we met up with Bebe, and we headed down to the beach and sat on the stones for a bit. I remember we dug around trying to find a stone with the hole all the way through. We found one, but only one. And after we got bored at looking at rocks, we decided to walk along the pier. And we decided to get donuts because you can't go along the pier without a snack. So we got a big bag of donuts to share. We were explaining to the American friendos that you need to be careful with your snacks on the pier because you might get squonked by a seagull flying down and swooping all of your goods. So me and Bebe were chatting along, eating our donuts, and we get squonked! A seagull flies in behind my shoulder, like I feel something hit my face and it was like the bird's wing. So I move out of the way and it's a clear view for them to grab the donut. So I get squonked and then Bebe goes, haha, you got squonked! And then she gets squonked and everyone's just laughing at us because we got squonked. But the rest of the donuts were safe and that's all that matters. So after the pier, Wilbur had to scoot off home and we decided to go around the lanes. The lanes are a really nice part of Brighton. There's loads of like little individual shops that are really small and nice. The first one we went in was this big kind of flea market area and you never know what you're gonna find in there, and it was really fun just having a laugh and looking at all like the random stuff. I think the saddest thing that we found there were these pictures, like black and white photos of just people's lives, and some of them are postcards, like they had sent them as a postcard and there's like notes written on the back. It was just kind of sad. I hope my photos don't end up in one of those boxes in a flea market. That would be sad. Anyway, after the flea market, we were walking along and we found this Harry Potter shop. I didn't know it existed, but Tori was excited and she bought a wand, a Hermione wand I think it was. Then we headed through the lanes to a toy shop where Bebe bought some worms. And then we were headed up towards a shopping centre area where we just kind of sat in the sun, relaxed. And then we headed to, would you guess it, spoons! And then we head home on the train. It was like an hour journey on the train, so we wanted to make sure we had enough time, and they also wanted to start packing up their suitcases. And one of the things I remember about the train journey is I remember sitting next to the window and just thinking, wow, this has been such a fun week already. It's a shame you guys have to go back to America. I'm gonna really miss hanging out with them. And then Tempo turns around and says, it's not good to think about the end, it's good to think about the journey. And it just made me crack up laughing with his like wisdom words, and it made me feel a lot better. But now I'm still sad. Anyway, day 6, which was their final day in London. It was sad. During the daytime they were very busy with their schoolwork. They had to visit about 2 museums, and then in the evening we headed to, would you guess it, Spoons! Where I had a lovely lasagna and we had apple juice, and more apple juice. And then we headed back to the hotel room where we had a bit more apple juice, played some more card games, danced around to Japanese anime music. I sang a song on the guitar about the hotel room, bearing in mind I only know 3 chords on the guitar, and I can't sing, so that went well. And then we had our sad goodbye, and it it was sad, and I want to go see them again really soon, but I don't know if I can do that. It's such a shame when you have people that you connect with so well, but they live so far away. But I guess it makes it even more special when you do get to see them in real life. And in the wise words of Tempo, it's not good to think about the end, it's good to think about the journey. And that's what we have to reflect on today. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys soon! Bye guys!